CEOs, civic leaders, entertainers, and entrepreneurs, they all have something in common: the drive, vision, and heart to achieve success. Steve Klein is a renowned business consultant, author, and host of Playmakers talk show. Each week he introduces you to fascinating personalities who will inspire, educate, and motivate you to persevere and find your own success. And now, here's Steve Klein.
An unknown author said, "It's not the conditions that get the results, it's the system." Welcome to Playmakers Talk Show. I'm Steve Klein. In the studio today are two playmakers who have innovative systems. Our first playmaker has developed a private plane experience for the cost of flying frequent commercial, while our next playmaker is an attorney who is revolutionizing the way real estate transactions are conducted. With us today is a CEO who has started an airline that saves up to 3 hours in travel time for each round trip. Well, our next CEO connects consumers, realtors, and escrow agents by providing simple technology to create secure solutions. These great playmakers are Nick Kennedy. Nick is CEO of Rise, and Ashley Cook. Ashley is CEO of Zoccam, and we'll begin today's show with Ashley. Born and raised in Dallas, Ashley Cook attended Southern Methodist University, where she received both her BA and Juris Doctor degrees. After law school, Ashley built her law practice by focusing on the needs of title insurance companies and real estate agents and brokers. In 2014, Ashley founded Zoccam, which connects consumers, real estate agents, and title companies by providing simple technology to create secure solutions. Zoccam is an easy-to-use smartphone app used by real estate agents to send earnest money to the escrow agent or title company. Zoccam decreases liability associated with manual deposits, enables faster sales cycles, increases transparency in real estate transaction, and provides cost savings. A lot of things to talk about. Ashley, welcome to Playmakers Talk Show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
This is an interesting concept. I knew nothing about it before I found out about you, so tell us how Zoccam works.
Well, Zoccam is a smartphone app we built, and we use MyTech as well as Jack Henry and Associates to capture the earnest money check using our platform. So it's important to distinguish that from taking a picture of a check. The check is captured using our software, and then it's processed and sent directly to the title insurance company's escrow account.
I think you use the acronym. It's Mobile Remote Deposit Capture.
Yes, and actually it's the first third-party use of mobile remote deposit capture.
So what is the advantage for a realtor? Why would I want to use this if I'm a real estate agent?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that everyone can agree that real estate agents do not enjoy delivering earnest money checks to the title company, nor do they enjoy tracking down the seller to drop off the termination option check. So Zoccam saves the real estate agents time because it takes out the need for them to drive the check to the title company. It also enables them to deliver the check on the weekend or after hours. So if a contract gets executed on Friday at 5:15, the agent doesn't have to hold on to that check until Monday. Instead, they can use our platform and Zoccam the earnest money on Friday after hours directly to the title company.
You're knocking one item off their checklist of things to do where they don't have to travel. They now can do this electronic, which makes it a lot nicer. And by the way, we're speaking with Ashley Cook. Ashley is the CEO of Zoccam. Zoccam spelled Zoccam, and that's Zoccam.com to find out all about it. You're an attorney. You've been practicing law for a while. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, I have been in the title industry for a long time. My mom is a real estate agent, and so I worked at a title company as a runner, as a receptionist, and then took a job with their of counsel, went to SMU Law School, and stayed in this industry. So I represented both real estate brokers and title insurance companies and recognized the need because realtors, by driving around these checks, are increasing their liability because they have to get the check to the title company on time. And the title companies with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau are being scrutinized to protect the consumer, which is the buyer's personal information, or NPI. So that's where it came from. But the down and dirty story is that it was November and I was at home and the Domino's Pizza commercial came on with the black and white commercial where the phone's ringing, the old-fashioned phone, And they said, don't put in your order the old way, put your order in the new way, which was to email the order. And that's when the light bulb went off as to, hey, wait a minute, why are we driving around with checks when we have mobile remote deposit capture?
I'm sure you sent Domino's that
Yeah.
finder's fee. You're helping
Right.
come up with that idea. Like, we were talking earlier about Zoccam because it's different, it's new, it's not been done. What are some of the biggest hurdles you're encountering as you're dealing with title companies and realtors?
Well, I think out of the gates, the first hurdle was to explain the process. I went to Wells Fargo first because Wells Fargo is a huge player in our industry. So went to Wells Fargo, had the process vetted. And again, because it was the first third-party use of mobile remote deposit capture, we had to show them why this was a good use case and how the risk was minimal. Once that was approved, then I went to the independent agents in Texas, being Republic Title, Texas Premier Title, Allegiance, Capital, the smaller title companies, and they got on board. So that was seamless. Now, the biggest obstacle is dealing with the larger companies. The national companies take a lot more time to get moving, and everyone has been focused on TRID and the new regulations that are being enforced through the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So once TRID passed October 3rd, now the title companies are, moving their focus elsewhere. So I think that the pace of the big companies is a hurdle. Number two is educating the real estate agents. Real estate agents claim that technology is one of the most important factors in their business, and having technology makes them look savvy in front of their customers. Yet people are slow to change. So we have to educate the real estate agents, as well as the financial industry and the title companies about our product and why it is more secure than the current method.
If you go to Zoccam.com, and again on Zoccam, there are some great videos to help you, especially if you're a realtor, you're in the title business, if you're a consumer that's buying or selling a home, you'll understand how this works. And again, it says at Zoccam.com. But you have a couple of features called, was it ZoccaPay and ZocTalk?
Yes.
What are those?
Well, so ZoccaPay is the primary feature, which is the delivery of earnest money. We started with that and have had numerous successful transactions. We're obviously going to be building out some other features aside from the earnest money. I mentioned earlier that we would be releasing the termination option fee, which will enable the buyers to send their termination option fee directly to the seller. And ZoccaPay was on our first platform. The idea being, and I get extremely excited about it, and a lot of people on my team don't agree with us, but I call it content-directed communication. What that means is that there's tons of platforms for agents to show listings, okay? Everyone can go on, download a picture, say, hey, I've got this house for sale. But what we don't have is a platform for buyers' needs, right? So if I'm a real estate agent and I have a buyer looking for a lot in Preston Hollow, then I may be, the only outlet for me may be to go to my office meeting in front of 100 agents and say, hey, does anyone have a lot up to this price in Preston Hollow? Well, with Zoccam, ZocTalk, the platform was built such that if a buyer has a need and it's in a certain zip code, that content goes only to the agents who work in that zip code. And it's only for licensed real estate agents. So what we're trying to do is twofold. Number one, we're trying to speed up the communication, increase the liquidity in the market, but also protect realtors. So we don't like taking away that power and that edge from the real estate agent.
It's another reason to have the app. And tell everybody where, if they are a real estate agent, where they can download that app.
They can download the app from the iTunes store or the Google Play store, and the app is free to download. So it's Zoccam, and just download it and use it.
Pronounced Zoccam as in Soccam. One of the things I saw, I don't know if it was on your website or the information you had sent me, actually, about some risky behaviors. And when I took a look at these, you mentioned a couple of these before, but I didn't realize how risky it is when realtors actually have a check handed to them. Talk about some of those behaviors and how Zoccam now is taking care of that.
Yes. So the current practice for delivery of earnest money in the termination, in the option check, is that the real estate agents take the check from the buyer, and then they drive that to the title company. Once it gets to the title company, the front desk receptionist at the title company takes the check, receipts the contract, and then later that day, hopefully, that check is deposited by another title company employee through a scanner at the office. Now, once the check is scanned, the title company is supposed to keep the check in a lockbox for 90 days and then destroy it. Obviously, there's a lot of different people handling that check, and you can talk to real estate agents who will admit that they have lost checks. So the other alternatives are wire transfers, which the industry has had several issues with emails being hacked and the routing instructions changed so that the buyer is sending a wire transfer to someone who they shouldn't be sending it to. And it's a loss of funds.
And Zoccam takes care of that.
Yes.
So this is if you have this, you'll save a tremendous amount of time. So tell everybody one more time how they can get a hold of you or how they can get a hold of Zoccam.
Well, you can go to our website, www.zoccam.com, or you can email me directly, Ashley, ASHLEY, at Zoccam.com.
And we have all the information on our website, which is playmakerstalkshow.com. One more question before we finish. What's the future for Zoccam? What are you going to do to build on this over the next few months and years?
Ooh, might take a little bit longer than a few minutes. So we're very excited about 2016. We've got some great partnerships that we're going to be announcing early in the year. We will continue to develop our platform, and our goal and what we're going to be delivering is the seamless paperless transaction so that the real estate agent or the buyer will use our app to send the contract and the earnest money directly to the title company, and we will open up that order by pushing the metadata into the title company software. All parties receive the notifications. So consistent with the regulatory requirements and environment, it is a secure, transparent solution.
And you heard it here first. This is going to revolutionize the real estate transaction in the industry. Well, Ashley, thank you very much for being a part of Playmakers Talk Show.
Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Ashley Cook is the CEO of Zoccam. That's Zoccam, Zoccam.com.